We at Legacy, sitting here with the next generation, as it were, about to chop it up on some I don't know what to call it, like some passing the baton type stuff, but the baton has been passed. If it has been, these dudes are off and running with it. A-Ward is in the house, Loso's in the house, Datin's in the house, SeffanOtto, Rockstar J.T, my man Shepherd is in the house. We got some other brothers who I need to learn your names a little bit better. But we just gonna chop it up. I told these guys at lunch that basically I'm very curious because I see, especially like the horseman dudes who are running with the battle rap thing. I look at what Cross Movement did years ago. When we first came in the door, a lot of people don't know, we were battling ideologies from sort of the black, like the black cults in the inner city, like 5%ers and Hebrew Israelites and Nubians and all that. So when you hear Heaven's mentality, you hear us saying things like lowercase gods bow down to the capital and who's the man? Who are we talking to? We're talking to these cults and whatnot. When I see the horsemen battling, even though it's entertainment, I see that same, like, that battle thing that we were doing back in the day, but they're just in each other's grill going back and forth with it. So I said, you know what, I really want to find out how much of what we were doing back then is still being done today. Or is there no continuity? Is there something different being done today? I just want to hear what these brothers think about some things. So I'm just going to be, asking some questions. They might be asking some questions. We have some open, frank dialogue. Some of this might make it online. Some of this may just be found 50 years from now. Like, yo, this is what they said. Because I won't put it out because it'll be too controversial. Anyhow, that's what's about to pop off in here. So we'll see how it goes. We shared testimonies earlier, but you weren't at lunch with us.
Yeah, I didn't come. Yeah.
Real quick, can you just, how'd you come to the Lord? How did the Lord come to you?
Well, yeah, I was 15 years old, and it was in 2013. I was in Atlanta at the Impact Conference. That conference really rocked my life because I didn't know that you can be young and be a Christian. You can, have swag with flags on your head. You know what I mean? Just the culture of young Christian, trying to strive to live for the Lord. So I was broken, I didn't know the Lord, and I wasn't like real sad or depressed in life, but I was just like, man, I can do what I'm doing, not in sin, but be cool and be a Christian and have joy. I had no joy, watching my mom struggle all my life, having to boil water on the stove, to eat and to take baths and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have heat, we didn't have gas and nothing like that. You know what I mean? So just seeing the struggle, I came and I was like, man, God, at least when I'm in the struggle, I have an advocate to lean on. I have something to lean on. And it was 2013, 15 years old. I'm 20 now, and I'm still unashamed of Christ. I'm still trying to press forward. So.
Okay. Now, I was a little embarrassed. I don't know if you felt some kind of way when I met you yesterday. I was like, yo, you spit?
Yeah.
Brother came up to me and was like, yo, man, I appreciate what you guys did with Cross Movement. I said, oh, okay. He said, you inspired me. I said, oh, you spit?
Yeah.
He was kind of like, I sort of just won the Rapzilla thing that just happened. I didn't even know. So, for those who don't know, the conference he's talking about, Impact, that's actually, if you hear Lecrae tell his testimony, when he came and he said, I saw these Christians, and they were sort of they helped me see that I could be in my faith and in my culture, and it blew my mind. And I said, yo, I could be a young Christian living for Christ. Same conference that happened to Lecrae at is what he's talking about, just 15 years later.
It's coming back up.
It's coming back up, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So Christians are doing work, man, all across the country, across generations. I want to hear real quick from the battle rap cast, and I wish Streethymns was here. This dude, I'm gonna put him on blast. He went to get a haircut. He's here?
Well, he just messaged, so I'll let him know where we was at. Though.
Okay, so he should be popping in here in a minute. We're gonna flame him when he do. But from the cast that went into battle rap, what was the transition from just spitting for the Lord as a quote unquote Christian rapper in CHH, if you were even in that, to saying, you know what? I'm going to actually stand in front of another rapper whose aim is to tear me down. And if I'm going to succeed in that realm, I got to have something like the same aim. As a Christian, I'm going to step into that realm. And when you did it, did you think, and my faith is coming with me? Or did you think, and if I have to, I'll get into my faith?
Yeah, for me, there was no question that my faith was coming with me. I mean, it just comes with me no matter where I'm at. But before it, I was already kind of doing poems, spoken words. There was a Rapzilla 16 bar competition in 2013 here, and really that was the first time like I started writing rhymes. And so I knew about the competition, just submitted one, entered it, and it was a bunch of it had gemstones, Streethymns, Braille.
All the people he beat.
All the people he beat.
Yeah, like everybody was on it. But the crazy thing though, Jen was one of the MC Jen. He was one of the judges, and afterwards, obviously I think that was the introduction to a lot of people for me because I was just in HGA. They saw my face, but I wasn't doing music. He came up after me and kind of encouraged me to continue doing it.
Wait, you were in HGA? Part of the group?
Yeah, the rap group was only two other dudes with KB, but HGA was like the ministry.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it was like 7 of us. Started and whatnot. But at that time though, after that, Flavor Fest had came around the year after. I don't know if you remember this. I walked by Datin and Jen again, and I told him I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm thinking about it. And
about battle rap.
Yeah.
What made you even start thinking about it?
So what happened was a lot of people. So I started doing spoken words. So Thizzle, Jackie Hill, they had caught wind of some stuff on YouTube, and they was liking it. But people would say like, yo, your mannerisms are that of a battle rapper.
Yeah, punchlines too. Yeah, punches.
So that's So the way I was kind of cultivating my spoken words like a battle round. It wasn't your traditional, spoken words. So. Because people kept telling me, I was at Flavor Fest and obviously these dudes battled before, Datin and Jen, they were the first ones.
I'm so sorry, yo.
Yeah.
I completely blanked on the fact that was your history before you came to Christ.
Yeah.
All this time we've been catching up, I forgot.
All that stuff.
That's where Datin comes from, yeah.
So when I walked by and I said that, and you remember, what I'm saying? Both of them looked at it, it was like, look, if anybody is to do it, you should be doing it. You know what I'm saying?
They said the same thing to me.
Yeah.
So hold on, I got a lot of questions. I'm not writing a book, I got questions. Coming from that world, you left it. I remember Datin, you used to say, y'all don't want to see that Datin.
Yeah.
That Datin is dead.
Yeah.
But now you got a Christian brother saying, y'all, I'm thinking about it, and you like, you know what? You might should do that. What was that like? Was there anything in you that said, nah, we can't do that as Christians? Or
Nah, I felt like I just know me. I couldn't do it because, I mean, once you train for blood, it's like I'm trained for blood. I'll activate my pride. I don't want to risk trying something new.
Gotcha.
It was hard enough transitioning into Christian
Gotcha.
rap. You know what I'm saying? And this is new to me.
Okay.
I've been, I've been a secular rapper way longer than I have been a Christian rapper. So I think going back into that arena is only going to tempt me to just be like, I know my pride. So it's like I real talk right now. You threw me in the battle and I'm losing. I know what's easily going to help me win if I just cuss them out.
because it's just muscle memory.
I just dropped an F-bomb. Right. I don't cuss in my real life, so I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna tell.
So you figure you got the muscle memory from what it was, and you don't want that to kick back in.
Even when I freestyle playing around, it be hella wicked.
Okay.
I can do that all day playing around, me and my man joking. I feel like, why is this so easy? But I can't freestyle for the Lord. It's like the Lord took that ability away. So I think I trust other people like that than myself.
All right.
And then seeing how he does, listening to him, I'm like, yeah, he
could
definitely got it.
Okay. All right, so your man says, if anybody could do it, you could.
Yeah, so I just wanted to do it as like a bucket list type of thing. I was like, let me just try. Because in my head, I was looking at these dudes. I was like, yo, there's no way I can memorize that much material in front of another person. And then in front of a crowd, all these different distractions. I was like, it's no way I could do like a 4-minute spoken word piece, but get 9 minutes of material, perform it, all these different things. So I said, let me just do one. I'll just try it out. So I joined a little trial, and it got canceled. It was supposed to be at the end of 2014, and it got canceled. So then they hit me up again. I was like, I'm done with it. I'm not even gonna try. 2015 comes around, and there's another trial in Tampa, where I'm from. I said, let me just do it. Went out there, and the residual effect that it had in battle rap, I could. It wasn't like I had no choice but to do it again.
Wow.
Like I had to go out and battle again. And so
was it to prove that the first one wasn't a fluke?
No. Now after when I saw when I'm talking about residual effect, I'm not talking about the praise I was getting. I'm talking about people were like, yo, who are you type of thing. Like they are oblivious to the praise, to the enemy. They don't know them. So when they're seeing a dude because there's Christians in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like Cortez, you know what I'm saying? He'll tell you straight, he's like, yo, I believe in Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Christian. But they never see, they don't see, right? But they don't see like a dude who's unashamed and willing to like, you know, just.
So your first battle, your faith came into it.
I had no choice. The way I was right, and this is the thing too. There's little battle rap communities on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So they watch what I post before I was even battling. So when I'm posting up scripture and stuff like that, they're like, yo, he's not just a Christian, but like, yo, he's a Christian.
Okay.
So when I went into the battle rap and I was structuring lines, I knew what I want, and it wasn't because I saw this as a mission field. I was just doing.
That was
going
to be one of my questions.
Yeah. At first, I wish that was the case, but it wasn't though.
Okay.
But when I was structuring my lines, I knew I wanted to just talk to this man about something, and so I knew he wasn't who he was, and I knew there was just certain things that it was just inconsistent with his worldview. So I was boom. That's why I attacked. Now, like I said, after that, you know, different opportunities started coming up, and every single battle. I can look back and I say like, yo, that's God, bro. I don't know, to this day, I don't know how my name is in conversations with certain people. I don't know how people, but all I can say is like, I don't know how the heck did I get this opportunity and get up there. And so, you know,
I know why.
Nah, but what I'm saying, but this thing, no, it's not, but it's not just the right, you know. So for instance, just point low. After I did my second Tampa battle, I was like, yo, what else? You know what I'm saying? Then I heard about this tryout with John. He's a big battle rapper. He had a league in Atlanta. I said, let me go try it. I thought it was all new dudes. Bro, it's 26 battlers on this card, and they've all been battling years. They're just trying to get into this league. I said, all right, man, let me go. I paid my $100 fee, right? I go up there, and like everything worked out. I had an original opponent who was like super, super, super trash, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill him. But then he backs out. So they give me another opponent he wasn't trash, but he was semi trash. But he was better than the other dude. And he was able to kind of like, you know, like make it look like a fight a little bit. And the crazy thing about it though, is what I'm saying why it's God. He goes up and he tells John, yo, I want to battle Loso right now. We're like the second battle. So everyone's in the room.
How much time to prepare?
No, we already prepared.
Okay,
we had a month. You know, we had a month to prepare. But you know, so I knew who I was gonna battle. But there's like 600 people in this trial because it's a free event, so everybody's out there. Then I get on stage, and we get the whole attention. We get everyone's attention. And when I go up there, the reactions that I'm getting, I'm just like, yo, everything was set up perfectly. Because if I would have battled the other trash dude, people would have tuned out, probably would have walked out the battle. But this dude was putting up a fight, and so I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, yo, that night I finished with the highest score, won the whole competition. Then after that, it takes off in battle. They're like, yo, who's this? Now, don't get me wrong, Saga's already doing it. Streethymns is already doing it. But in the South, they weren't seeing that. And now Streethymns had just joined Bullpen. You know what I'm saying?
Had you met Streethymns?
I did, because he was actually the person I had went against in the Rapzilla competition.
Okay.
and that's crazy how the Lord ended up, you know, orchestrating all that. And then A-War came right after. So for me, I look at it and I'm like, yo, this is really crazy. But now if you ask me, it's definitely mission field. And I'm not saying that you watch on YouTube the battle necessarily. Yeah. That's my foot in the door. I'm talking about the constant conversations we get, the phone calls we get. Tomorrow we're gonna be in Atlanta, and I guarantee as we're walking, some dude's gonna pull us aside. Hey, can you pray for such and such? You know what I'm saying? Like that's never happened before.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're at.
Wow. Yeah. And how about you? Like, what made you say, as a Christian? Because you started something with Streethymns. We were downstairs. I was, save that convo.
Yeah.
Talk about some of that.
I fought with it for a long time. I've been watching battle rap since 2002. I've been a huge fan of battle rap, and battle rap really influenced my writing style from the jump. So even when I was doing music and stuff, like I had punchlines in my hooks. Like that's how much I like punching. Like, you know, like I didn't know how to write a song, but everything had a dope punchline in it. But so battle rap really influenced me from jump through high school and everything. And I always thought it would be cool to do, but I didn't really have an outlet within the Midwest like Kansas City to do it. So I just kind of tabled it. So, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it was freestyling with Bumps Infinite and doing some things, and kind of became a part of a small community of Christians that like to watch battle rap, which first helped me think it's okay to watch battle rap because the Christians are doing it, you know? Touch base with Streethymns. Unlike Loso, like, I feel like my memory is impeccable, right? So I would go do spoken word joints, and I would do spoken word joints.
This way is gonna get better.
And I can literally rap to you 18 minutes of material right now, like from stuff that's from 2006 to 2009, and jump and weave it all in and freestyle something and bring it all right back. Like so. From that standpoint, like I was never apprehensive about what I could do in the ring. But I was apprehensive about my spiritual growth and how it lined up in what I was going to be becoming a part of, the family I was going to be becoming a part of. So I talked to some brothers, Dylan, Bumps, Streethymns, and stuff like that, and I thought, if this ever presents itself, then I'm going to do it.
What's the best piece of advice you got that made you say, okay, I can go ahead?
The best piece of advice I got, I mean, it's cliche. It was just stay in prayer about it. Like, stay in prayer about it. And that's what I did. I stayed in prayer about it. Like, God, because God's timing's always been so important in my life. Like, I felt like there was times I could have battled in 2009, you know? But, like, I would have been a knucklehead. You're not sending me to L.A. in a hotel room at 23, 24 years old out here as a Christian, but no. No, my testimony would have been real quick. You know,
what do you mean by that? Just real quick,
like I just wasn't solid enough with accountability and different things in my life.
You would have fell in some kind of sin.
Yeah, fell in some kind of sin, or been a part. Like, and so like I really wanted to make sure that when I went into it, it wasn't just Aaron thinks this is a cool idea because he likes battle rap. It was I have a foundation of believers and accountability and people around me that say, look, bro, you go out here and do slam poetry events and open mic, and you like this is what like what Loso said. Like I opened up for like the poets in Autumn and stuff, and had these same conversations with Jackie and Ezekiel and Preston and all these people that are big battle rap fans as well. And everybody's like, yo, you got to do this, you got to do this. So my first battle in Kansas City was September 2015, so it was about 3 months after yours, something like that. I was strategic. I'm not gonna lie. I was strategic about my battle.
About your battle? What do you mean?
About the battle itself, like how I wrote for the battle. Like my faith, number one, had to be there. Like I'm not a fly under the radar. Like talk to you on the side. Oh, by the way, I love Jesus kind of person. Like
why?
Because from jump, like I wanted them to know what I'm about. Because I don't want people approaching me. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like at our events in Kansas City, everybody's smoking weed. Everybody's drinking. Like there's drug transactions going around and different things like that. Like that, all that's happening. My boss, I work at the bank. I told my boss, like, yo, you want to watch the battle come through, but just letting you know, like, And he's like, yeah, I had to stand by the door because the stench got a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, and I don't want to go in there and even have to, like, I wanted them to know from the jump, but they did, man. Like, I wore my baseball T-shirt, I wore my trucker hat. I was the only white dude in there. They didn't have a clue what was about to happen.
Blue shirt.
Yeah, they didn't have a clue what was about to happen. They just called me to this. And mine was like a tryout. I didn't know anybody really down there. I knew a few people that ran the league, and I just teed off on dude. And then Rapzilla, shout out to the clickbait that they used for the battle drop. And they put Christian rapper knocks out secular opponent. And like in the thumbnail, I'm like this.
They didn't put white Christian rapper.
No, they didn't put white. No, they definitely didn't put white.
I had to go see Chad, bro.
But like Loso, like I didn't necessarily think this was a door open to like this mission field or whatever. It was like a bucket list type thing. It was like stand up for who you are, go do a battle, But after, like you said, the first battle, and it was like, and people, you do songs, I do songs, share them. People are like, oh, cool, war, good song or whatever. But they don't want to share them because I wasn't a great artist musically, right? So like I understand why people's like not retweeting it to all their people, like, yo, check him out. Like I'll be real. The minute I was in my lane and where God, like, I feel like firmly that God called me to this and was like, yo, that's what he's supposed to be doing. everybody that I had networked with, everybody I ever made a connection with, was like sharing it, boom, 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 and and it's just going crazy, And then after that, after I became, basically 2 or 3 battles in within the Midwest, is when I really started having them conversations. Like, and I seen the first and the second conversations, and I got great just stories from things, from league owners, from other battlers I've faced, that where God has just worked tremendously. Grown men calling, crying, asking for advice here.
Why you beat me like that?
People coming to church with me. I tell a story about I gave a Bible to one of my opponents with his name inscribed on it just as a gift for taking the battle. And his mom's a pastor.
Wow.
And she sent me a message a month later and said, I just want to thank you for giving my son that Bible. Like, he hasn't been at our church in 6 months, and he brought his Bible 2 weeks after y'all battled.
Wow.
It was like, he's not attending church, but it was great to see him in fellowship,
Crazy.
And it's like those kind of things, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how yours was. The first 2 or 3 battles, I was getting messages, YouTube comments talking about how evil what I was doing was.
From Christians.
Christians and non-Christians, but it was sad,
And non-Christians telling you about your faith.
Yeah, a lot of non-Christians telling me there's no way I should be doing this, and they still tell us to this day, all the time. Battle rappers tell us all the time, don't bring that Jesus stuff in here, we don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah, I just saw that recent video of that dude addressing y'all.
Yeah.
Now, so I'll read the comments after your joints, and people say, do y'all feel like y'all bring your faith into it, or you know what's going to come up, and so you're just prepared for it?
That was both.
Yeah,
both.
Yeah. But I set it up that way. We set it up that way. Like, my slogan was God is good all the time, from the first battle, and it was only supposed to be the end of my first round where I just want to be like, God is good and then the dude just go, time, like I just wanted it to be like a he finished it for me type thing. And like people was like, all the time. I was like, all right, that's cool, let's rock with that, But yeah, we set that up, and it's very naive to think that you go into battles with like, if you're a Crip or if you're a extremely overweight dude, like your opponent is always going to use the things that are most easy to focus on.
Okay. You feel the same way? Like
everyone has an angle. Everyone in battle rap, and they use it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once they find out something about you, and because we're we're so in your face with the Christianity, they use it, and it's easy for them to. You know what I'm saying? It's easy, but yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So, last question, I guess, before we can kind of change the topic a little bit. The thing that Christian rappers used to have to battle with was this idea of, are you using your faith as a crutch? Like you in the real secular hip hop thing, so now you're going to just do something Christian, almost like the Special Olympics. Like you're going to go over there and do your thing because you really couldn't compete over here. Dudes were not using
I'm trying to see that analogy.
Yeah, I don't mean it as a diss, I'm just, that analogy.
But that's pretty good. Like, I get it. I get why a carnal mind would think
right.
Like that.
But there has been, some talk that, certain Christians kind of feel like it's not good enough just to be a quote-unquote Christian rapper. That's that D league. I got to leave that and go over here, kind of leave my faith behind. That'll prove I'm actually a real rapper. Do you ever, what do you say to somebody who says, oh, your faith is your crutch? That's why you, what do you say to that?
In battle rap, you don't have that luxury. In music, you might have that luxury, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you might have to go ahead and combat that as far as them looking at CHH and saying, yo, that's why we do it by accident, even though we don't believe that, right? We just had a conversation. Hey, who's the best CHH performance? Like K isn't on the same level.
Right.
Like you'll be disrespectful if we put, like me, I think Shailin's one of the greatest lyricists, right? But everybody would think I'm crazy if I start having a conversation with Shai and Eminem in the conversation as far as Mosey stuff. Because our mind just separates it, you know what I'm saying? But with battle rap though, we even if we're Christian, we still, it's pretty clear who wins the battle. You know what I'm saying? It's clear who is the better rapper. It was clear who was the better lyricist. It's clear, these things are inevitable for the fan base, you know what I'm saying? And so now, granted, don't get me wrong, you may be getting attention and views. That stuff could be debated. But as far as me going on stage versus another battle rapper, at the end of the day, the best battler is going to win.
Right, it's in the bars.
The best battler is going to win, yeah. And so, and we're and this is the thing, they don't invite you certain places unless, like, they're not gonna, and because you gotta think about it, they're paying for you. You know what I'm saying? They're paying. It's free to go ahead and drop a Christian song. It's not free to go get a Christian rapper on your lead. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay me. You have to fly me out hotel. What's it worth for you? And so my thing is, like, if it's gonna be a great battle, and the consensus now in the battle rap culture is like, yo, you want one of these, like, these gangbanging battle rappers to have a great performance, book them against a Christian rapper, because then they start, all jokes aside, some of their best battles are with us, because they, like, I be looking at it, like, y'all be looking at dudes like the last dude I just battled in Texas, he's not a great rapper, it's the best battle he's ever, no one has ever seen, you know what I'm saying, or certain dudes that has battled A-War, it's just like, yo, A-War even told somebody, he's like, you know, every round that you don't shoot me in, I just made you better, or something like that. Like it's like, yo, like, you're stepping it up. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you got to go outside of what you know. So my thing is like,
that go outside the box. They go inside.
And then you're battling.
That's a battle rapper for you.
You're battling these dudes that can go anywhere with it, and you're confined to you're restricted by your convictions and your beliefs, and y'all still beating these dudes. I ain't seen none of y'all catch no fade. Zaga did, but
a little bit of confession. I remember back in the day.
That was early in the game.
Y'all have no idea what this is about. I don't think anybody in this room does. I don't know. Back in the day, I remember back during the cross movement tunnel rap debate kind of thing that was going on. I remember just listening to a tunnel rap album one day, and I felt, this is kind of not totally similar to what you're talking about, but it reminded me of it. I felt the freedom that they had to just talk about whatever and sort of however. And I remember I called Ambassador up. I said, yo, man, I'm jealous of the freedom that they have to talk about whatever, however. That was sort of one of the gripes we had. It wasn't just that it's not preaching the gospel. It was just some of the stuff they talked about. I was like, man, is that? But they had that freedom. And I remember Ambassador's kind of his counsel was, you wear the chains of the gospel. Paul talks about that. There's a certain sense in which you're chained to this message, and you only go as far as it allows you to go. But it makes you have to, Datin, it makes you have to dig deeper. You got to rely more on A, the Lord, but then B, if you really are the artist you claim to be, how artistic can you be with this thing that you're chained to? You're chained to it, but you can say so many different things about it, and it can take you so many different places. So, anyway, I thought about that when you were saying it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, battle rap, like, it's so raw. Like, if you're trash, you're trash. So, like, you asked me, like, about Christian rappers joining battle rap, like, who, like, is there a next wave? Don't do it if you're not good. If you don't have the cosign, like the complete cosign, because.
But there's other Christian battlers. And you just don't know about them.
Yeah. So
and you won't know about them.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Cobbins is fire.
Yeah. There's a few. There's a dude named Cobbins, which is Chris Lee Cobbins' brother. So you're familiar with Chris Lee, the singer? Okay, so. And then.
So at lunch, you were talking to Streethymns about this. You said there's sort of the battle within you in terms of how, like, you.
Like what you were just speaking on, like the freedom side of it, because from a battle rap standpoint, when I'm preparing my rounds, first off, if there's anything that I write or think of that, that I run by, these guys or some of my accountability partners that is edgy, I'm just like, I'm too good. To have to use that. So I'll scrap it right away, But just from the preparation of the rounds and like the self-promotion that goes into battle rap, because, I mean, even as an artist, right, you drop an album, it's your album, you share your album, it's the self-promotion side of it. Battle rap has become like WWE, you have to create storylines, you have to learn how to talk trash, you have to be on social media, you have to kind of have these banters back and forth, with people, and sometimes, as a Christian, you can get inundated with that particular, I got to create this, that, and the third, and sometimes just the character flaws that, might rise up and different things like that, if you're not staying grounded, can be very detrimental to, that. I've been telling people all week, like, my life right now, I'm just trying to learn how to time management stuff, Like, I had to deal with the first time ever. My girlfriend of 9 years said, you like battle rap more than me. Like I had to have that talk, And so like that's not something I ever want to get to. Do I believe Christians, can be battle rapper. Yeah, of course, I'm a battle rapper, you know, so I definitely believe God's got me where he wants me to be, but I just think you have to be very mindful that this particular sect of hip-hop has plenty of things waiting on you, you know? It's not just like, oh, I'm about to go sleep with some chick or do this, that. There's all these other things that battle rap is, you know, associated with that you can fall into. So, and that's kind of what I was touching on with Street, is just in the preparation side of it, the creating storylines, the trying to brand yourself. You know, we get paid, but we also get paid based off of, I mean, if you ever see Loso, this dude's got some of the most professional he got a flyer every 2 days, his pictures and stuff like that. Like you get paid off that branding, so you got to really make it look like, you know, you're a professional, you know.
I'll pause the camera because I want to ask him why has he got a girlfriend for 9 years. He said, "Now turn the camera back on."
Yeah, I ain't sweating. No, my girlfriend's been in nursing school for 7.5 years, so she's been doing all of her stuff, her masters and everything like that. And she told me when she's in nursing school, they say don't get pregnant, don't get engaged, don't get, like, your life is school, you know.
Wow.
And so yeah, so she told me from the jump, she was just like, you know, I ain't trying to like plan all this stuff. So I ain't gonna front, I'm about 1.5 years late. Like I should have had that mug ready the minute she graduated, but
that old boy in the Bible had to wait for Shorty for like 14 years.
Good. All right, you hear that, baby? I got 5 more.
No, but anyone would even tell you though that like the first 6 years of our relationship, marriage wasn't even a conversation.
Yeah. It wasn't like a heavy. It's never been a stress. You know, only like recently is it kind of like, you know, her parents and stuff are like, yo, we want grandkids.
All right.
So yeah, no.
Can we switch the topic a little bit? I'm gonna go to some of the younger cats. We got Shepherd in the house. We got Rockstar J.T in the house. I want to understand that name a little bit too.
Yeah.
So y'all were kind of you're 20, and 20. So you got two 20-year-olds. Y'all missed a lot of what came before you in terms of this CHH. Do you need the label? Do you have to have your faith in your music? All that kind of stuff. Y'all come in the scene where it kind of is what it is right now. I don't even know what it is to you all. You see reach artists, you know, you see that kind of stuff going. And y'all were having a conversation as we were going to lunch.
Right.
So how do you look at the idea of what is Christian hip hop to you?
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.